Okay, welcome to part 2 of 12-bar blues in G. If you didn't get a chance to check out the first part of the lesson, you may want to do that. I'm not going to repeat a lot of the instruction for the parts that repeat section to section. So you may want to check out part 1. So part 2, the second section, the first two measures are the exact same as the first two measures in section 1. Okay? When we get to measures 3 and 4, we're going to be doing a walking bass line. And the notes we're using, we're going to use 2/8 notes for each note of the walking bass line. We'll be using the G, the 3rd fret of the E string, 2nd fret of the A string, 3rd fret of the A string, 4th fret of the A string, 5th fret of the A string, 4th fret of the A string, 3rd fret of the A string, and 2nd fret of the A string. And we're going to do that while we're playing the chord, the up-down. Okay? And then when we get to the 5th and 6th measures, they're the same as the 5th and 6th measures of section 1. Okay, and then when we do the 7th and 8th, we're going to do a reverse walking bass line. The G again, starting there on the 3rd fret on the E string, then the 3rd fret on the D string, the 2nd fret on the D string, open D string, 3rd fret on the A string, 2nd fret on the A string, open A string, and back to the G. The 11th and 12th measures are very similar to the 3rd and 4th measures. The 11th measure is exactly the same as the 3rd, where we have that walking bass line running up. But instead of sliding up to the 5th fret on the A string to begin the descending portion of this, we're going to do it over a D chord. So we'll walk it up to the D, and we're going to play the open D string and the index finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. And then we'll walk it down with the 3rd fret on the A string with the middle finger. I reach over with my thumb to get the 2nd fret of the A string. I don't want to move my index finger, I still want that D chord ringing out. Then the open A string to the G. Let's put that part together. Okay, for the final 12 measures, the first two are exactly like the first two measures in each section we've done. When we get to the 3rd and 4th measures, well, we're going back to the G. We're going to finger it this way with the thumb on the 3rd fret of the low E string. Also let your thumb lightly touch that A string to mute it out. Open D and G strings, and we'll bar the B and E strings at the 3rd fret with our index finger. So beat by beat, the first beat is this G chord, a down strum and an up strum. The second beat, we're going to bar the G and the B strings with our ring finger at the 5th fret, and the up strum will be the G and the B strings barred at the 3rd fret. Down, up, down, up. The 3rd beat, we're taking our ring finger, barring the D and the G strings. And the up strum, we're back at the 3rd fret, barring the G and B. Okay, and we'll close out the last beat of that measure on the G and B strings, barring 5, and up strum with 3. Okay, continuing on into the 4th measure, we're staying on the G and the B strings, barring it at the 5th fret for the down strum, 3rd fret for the up strum. The D and G strings will bar at the 5th fret for the 2nd beat, the down strum, and the up strum, we're going back to the G and B string barred at the 3rd. Okay, so it's harder to explain what I'm doing than to actually play it. Okay, and then we go into the C9 for 2 measures. The 7th and 8th measures. This time we're going to finger our G chord yet one other way. Middle finger on the 3rd fret of the low E string, muting out that A string. D and G strings are open, and the ring finger is on the 3rd fret of the B string, and the pinky is on the 3rd fret of the E string. Now the first beat, we strum that G chord, up strum, we remove the ring finger and the pinky. For the next down strum, we put the ring finger and the pinky back on the 3rd fret, but this time on the G and the B strings. And again, remove them for the up strum. Move the pinky and the ring finger up another set of strings to the D and the G. There's your down strum. Open for the up strum. And then move them down again to the G and the B string on the 3rd fret. And open for the up strum. There's one measure. Okay, not too difficult. And the next measure starts with the ring and the pinky down on the 3rd fret of the G and the B strings again. The up strum is open. Move them up one string so the ring and the pinky are now on the 3rd fret of the D and the G strings. Remove them. So mixing those 2 bars together. Then end it with that ring and pinky on the 3rd fret, G and B strings. Gives a little tension. Okay, now right into the D7, C9. Okay, that part's a lot of fun. It sounds trickier than it is. So what we're doing with the index finger on the 3rd fret of the low G string, Give that a nice little hit there. And then we can start our ascending bass line, which starts on the B, on the down strum. We pull it off to an open A. So the second fret to the open. Now we're still doing that same strum. So what happens was on the down strum, we're using the second fret of the A string, pulling off, and then hitting that open A string again on the up strum. Same thing with the third fret. Same thing with the fourth fret. Hit that D, and we'll finish it off with the index finger on the second fret of the low E string, blocking out that A string, and then finishing on the G chord. Throw that ring finger down on the third fret of the D string if you want. Okay, so now we got the last 12 measures. Okay, well, I hope you got something out of this. Uh, if you did, hit the like button, let me know. You could also subscribe to my channel, check out some of the other lessons I have on there. I also have some original songs. I wouldn't mind it if you took a listen to those and let me know what you think, good, bad, or otherwise. If you have any questions or comments, by all means, send me a quick note. We'll keep the conversation going, and we'll see you next time.